Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Friday, January 26th. Coming up this weekend, we have UFC on Fox 27, 4 fights on the main card. We're going to take a look at that, the 4 main card fights from a betting and odds perspective right now with our regular guest, Andreas Hale. Andreas Hale, thanks for being back with us. The main event is Derek Brunson against Jacare Souza. A very interesting rematch here, of course, because both these fighters are very different from when they first met a bunch of years ago. Brunson is a much improved fighter. Souza is a bunch of years older, so maybe Brunson has revenge on his mind here. I was thinking that Brunson might have had the edge from a betting perspective when the line was plus 135 when I looked at this line a bunch of days ago. Now he's taken significant money, so obviously the betting public agreed with that opinion. Brunson's now plus 100. Souza on the other side minus 120. Souza's now 38, but still a formidable physical specimen, coming off of a knockout loss though. I would have liked Brunson at plus 135. At plus 100, I'm not exactly sure. It's starting to become a coin flip in terms of the market odds here. Is this fight a coin flip, Andreas Hale, or do you think one of these fighters has an actual edge as far as who's likely to win?
I still think give Jacare the edge. I mean, I get it when they say, Jacare has advanced age. Derek Brunson's looked excellent in his past few fights. They both lost to the same fighters, Yoel Romero and Robert Whittaker, Robert Whittaker, as we know, is the UFC middleweight champion. But the thing is Jacare still submits just about anybody else he faces. And I'm just not sold on Derek Brunson. I get what they're saying. He has a lot of finishes. He's looked really good, but I'm not buying it. From a betting perspective. I'm definitely picking Jacare to win this fight. He finished him in like 42 seconds when they met in Strikeforce. Yeah, they're different, but I don't know what Derek Brunson necessarily does different to finish off Jacare in the rematch. I don't see it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking as far as the total is concerned, similar to the Nagano fight, I'm kind of leaning both over 1.5 rounds and the fight not going the distance. Feels like there will be a finish here. Feels like either Souza will get knocked out or he'll get a submission, but also feels like it's not likely to come in the first round, that these guys will have a healthy amount of respect for each other. And so I'm thinking maybe we see a second or third or even a fourth round finish. But would you agree with me that a finish is very likely here, but that with the total being 1.5 at minus 130 for the over, that you would lean over? What's your sense on the total here?
I agree there's going to be a finish. I'm kind of unsure when it's going to happen because Derek Brunson has finished off, I believe, like 7 opponents in the first round. And he only went to the decision with Andreas Silva, who's not nearly who he once was. Jacare, on the other hand, usually if he gets his hands on you and you're not ready for that, he's going to submit you. So I think there's going to be a finish here. I'm just really unsure if it's going to be, over 1.5 rounds. I think it's going to be right around after that first round. I'm just not clear on when I think it's going to be. But for this, I just lean towards this fight's going to be a finish one way or the other.
Yeah, the problem is the fight not going the 5-round distance is minus 490. So that's a massive favorite line there if you want to take it. The over 1.5 rounds is minus 130. The under is plus 110. Brunson, I thought, might have had a little bit of value at plus 135, but now he's down to plus 100. So I guess, is there no bet that you're seeing here with possible betting value as of right now, Andreas?
I mean, I just really like Jacare. If you're gonna bet anything on this fight, that's my lock. I'm picking Jacare to win this fight. I just don't see how Derek Brunson is gonna do it. I love the stats. It looks great on paper, but he's beating up guys that Lyoto Machida's washed up, Dan Kelly, Uriah Hall. I mean, these aren't guys that are world beaters. So I don't get it. So my lock pick here is Jacare Souza by finish, but I get it. It's going to end inside the distance. The minus 470 is way too much. But if you're going to bet anything, just bet on Jacare.
All right, so do you want to make this an official pick, Andreas Hale?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, so Souza inside the distance or Souza to win?
Just Souza to win.
Just Souza to win. Okay, Souza to win is right now minus 120. All right, I think I'm going to pass on this one, but certainly it's an interesting fight. Next fight, also interesting, Andre Fili and Dennis Bermudez. And Bermudez, of course, is a very aggressive fighter who just is a bull in a china shop, which can be kind of a tough style to prepare for. Surprisingly, though, a lot of previews that I've read are expecting this fight to go the distance, and the over 2.5 rounds is minus 190. The under is plus 165. I was thinking that we might actually see a finish here, or at least that there might be a better chance of a finish than the market is giving credit for. And Bermudez is a pretty decent favorite here, minus 155. Fili on the other side, plus 135. And these lines haven't moved much since they opened, since I saw them first a few days ago. What'd you take on this one, Fili Bermudez?
Bermudez is just an excellent wrestler in Philly. That's kind of his kryptonite. You know, guys that can wrestle and put him on his back, he has a hard time dealing with them. So in this fight, I think Bermudez should be the favorite, even though he's lost 2 in a row. I think it probably will go the distance. Bermudez will probably put Philly on his back early and often and keep him there and control the fight. Philly's best advantage is if he can get him out of there early. I don't necessarily see that happening. Philly looks good and he's very flashy, but Bermudez is also very tough. So I'm thinking Bermudez is going to out-wrestle him. And my pick here is Bermudez. Everything else I'm not too sure of. I just figure he's going to win this fight by decision.
Yeah, I was leaning Bermudez as well, but I'm not sure I want to bet him at minus 155. But I'm just thinking with both fighters being so inconsistent and with kind of defensive deficiencies, I was thinking maybe a shot with the under or the fight not going to distance, is the way to go. But you think that you think Bermudez is likely to get this one, and that it's not necessarily we're not looking at a finish here.
Yeah, I think those are both very true. And I mean, Philly's alternated wins and losses, I believe, over his past 8 fights.
Yeah.
So if you want to just go with trends, he's due to lose. So one way or another, I think Bermudez should win this fight. It'll probably out-wrestle him. Bermudez is not a finisher. He's a guy who likes to control his opponent. So that's where I see this going. You can take a shot at it. I just don't necessarily see it happening.
All right, so do you want to make an official pick here? Bermudez to win or Bermudez by decision? Bermudez by decision is plus 160, and to win is minus 155.
I'll take Bermudez by decision. That's my pick.
By decision at plus 160.
Yes.
Okay, that's not just a lean, that's an official pick.
That's an official pick.
Okay, sounds good. And then the next fight is kind of a weird one. Gregor Gillespie against Jordan Rinaldi. And Gillespie, obviously a supremely talented prospect. He's 31, but still improving and up and coming as far as his career is concerned. And feels like he should be, at this point in his career, matched up with tougher competition than Rinaldi. As expected, Gillespie's a massive favorite here, minus 570. There's no way in hell I'd bet on Rinaldi, even at plus 435, although this line hasn't really moved much. I feel like it's kind of a weird matchup, and maybe Gillespie has some betting value here. Maybe Gillespie by decision. He's 570 right now. What's your take on that line, Andreas?
Stay far away from this one. I'm looking at it. The line is incredible. I mean, Gillespie, he's a D1 wrestler. I mean, he's excellent at this. He's finished a few opponents, but the line is just too wide. I mean, when you see a prospect like this, you see a line that this wide, it's just a sign to stay away from it. It could be a showcase fight, but he could get caught. Those small gloves, anything can happen. So this is just a fight that I'll watch and enjoy it, but I can't bet this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I was thinking maybe Gillespie by a decision at plus 105 might have some better value than just taking Gillespie at minus 570. What do you think? You think it's likely? I mean, Gillespie is a finisher, but
Yeah, I mean, that's very possible. That I would maybe throw some money at that because you got a little bit of value there. But again, there's just too much here. And he's a wrestler. And Ronaldo's a pretty tough guy. Yeah, I'd lean towards him. I'd lean towards that pick that you talked about, Pete. But I just can't pick anything. I'll stay off of this one.
All right. Yeah, that one's going to be a pass for me as well. And then the last fight on the main card is Frank Camacho against Drew Dober. And this is an interesting one. This is actually one that I think I might make an official pick on. I was definitely leaning Camacho at plus 155, which were the odds a few days ago. That line has gotten bet down, but not a ton. It's now plus 140 for Camacho, and Dober on the other side is minus 160. And I think that Camacho is a guy who sort of is a fan favorite amongst hardcore fans, gaining a fan base here. And Dober's definitely a competent challenger here, a competent opponent. But my sense is that, and especially since the fight's at welterweight, if Camacho had to make a bigger weight cut, then I wouldn't be liking him, I don't think. But at welterweight, where Camacho won't have to make the weight cut and will be able to probably push his preferred pace, I'm liking Camacho here as an underdog. What do you think, Andreas?
I am too. I was looking at this, and at first I was going to stay away from it. I kind of watched the line a little bit, and I was looking at both these guys, and I said, you know what? I kind of like Camacho here. The fact that everything that you just mentioned, the fact that he's not making a big weight cut, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's very good on the ground. So Dober, I don't think he should be as big as a favorite as he is. So I like Camacho as an underdog pick here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Camacho hits harder, and Dober's defense not quite elite. So, do you think we're more likely to see a decision or a finish here? Camacho, it's kind of like I feel like we're going to see a lot of action, but not necessarily finishing strikes. Maybe Camacho by decision has some value. What do you think?
It does have some value. The interesting thing is when Dober loses, he usually gets finished. So, you look at his past couple of losses were all by submission, and that means he's going right into a trap fight here against Camacho, who can finish his opponents by submission. So, I think we're probably going to see this thing end inside the distance. I'm not too sure. I probably stay away from this pick, this prop pick, but I just really like Camacho here because I think he's the better, more well-rounded fighter. It's hard to predict how this thing is going to end, though.
Yeah. All right. I'll make Camacho an official pick at plus 40. I would rather be getting the original odds at plus 155, which is where I took it. But I'll give Camacho as an official pick at plus 40. And is this fight going to be a pass for you, Andreas?
No, I'm going to make this an official pick. I like Camacho as well. I'm with you on this one, Pete.
All right. Sounds good. So both Andreas and I on Camacho at plus 140. That's the only pick for me on this card. But Andreas Hale also likes Jacare Souza to get a win. Current odds are minus 120. Those odds are headed down from where they were a few days ago. And also Bermudez by decision at plus 160. Right, Andreas?
That is correct.
All right. Thanks so much. Once again, talk to you again very soon, Andreas Hale.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.